Okay, so an updated look at Fallout 4 at 21:9. So it's been so long since I went on Fallout 4, I got totally turned away from it after the nightmare it was to sort out getting it working at 21:9 before, but I really wanted to return to it lately and knew I needed to do an update video to the last fix I covered, so here it is, the definitive version of how to get the game running at 21:9. So you're going to need one mod from Nexus. Now before I go on, it's so easy to do this, so don't worry, you'll have no troubles at all. So firstly, make sure you have a clean Fallout 4 install on Steam. By that I mean no other mods or anything installed. We don't want other mods potentially screwing this up. Do this first and then add mods on top of it. Now, go to the link in the description, by the way, full step-by-step instructions are in the description, and load up this mod page called True-by-9 Ultrawide. Now, I need to firstly say a massive thanks to Zalius for creating this, and also for compiling the fantastic work of people like Daisuke and John Doe Bowler and Deadly Phoenix and many others, as they're all to thank for having these brilliant mods available. So before you download the mod, you want to make sure that you've installed the Nexus Mod Manager. If you would like to not use the mod manager to take a different route, then you can by all means, but this tool is a lot easier. Once you've got Nexus Mod Manager installed, go to the Files tab and hit the green Download with Manager button on the main file. Now, Nexus Mod Manager should have loaded up with this new mod and you should be able to see it like I can see on screen. Just right click it and make sure it's installed and enabled. It'll then run a first time setup and just click through it like I have and select the vanilla mod fix option. This means the game will remain identical to normal but will obviously work perfectly at 21:9. Now you can just load up the game and you'll see that all menus, gameplay, etc. have been reworked to use the entire screen space. This applies to a scope on a gun too. Sadly, the main menu does remain with black bars, but some text shift to the sides. All in-game menus colour the entire screen space green, so yeah, it basically is perfect. Now there are only two issues with this. Firstly, the green background box to some text doesn't line up nicely, which is a shame. Though, actually, I'm updating this now, as in the time since I've recorded this footage, I played more of the game, and now the green box behind the text lines up nicely, so I have no idea why it's doing it here. So I'll just assume it actually works. Strange. And secondly, this mod disables achievements, sadly. The game knows that you're modding and just turns them off. There is another mod I tried out when researching the best mod option for this video, and that doesn't turn off achievements. However, it's a little longer to do and doesn't fix the power armor screen, but if enough people want me to explain that modding option, I can update the description with that information. Now before launching the game, you need to jump over to your Documents folder, find your My Games folder, and in there, open the Fallout 4 folder. In here you'll see a file called fallout4.ini. Open it in Notepad and search for sResourceDataDirsFinal. And see how mine says strings after the equals? If you have any text after the equals, delete it. Now save the file and close it. Next, back in the same Fallout 4 folder, open the file called fallout4prefs.ini, again in Notepad. Now search for, Ctrl+F, isize, and you'll see a resolution input. So in isize H, put your screen's height, so either 1080 or 1440, and in isize W below it, put your screen's width, so either 2560 or 3440 by 1440. Then just above this, you'll see it says bBorderless equals, and make sure that equals 0. And then under that, make sure that bFull screen equals 1. Now save the file and close it. Now, one downside to this mod is it doesn't have an easy FOV changeability like when using flawless widescreen. There is no slider to pull up and down to try out different FOVs. You need to instead manually type it in. So go back to the fallout4.ini file, Ctrl+F, and find the word FOV. Now you'll see two FOV options, fdefault world FOV and fdefault first person FOV. I changed both to 100, but you might like it slightly higher or lower. The higher you go, the further the Hit-Boy screen will be from you though, so remember that. However, I found an FOV of 100 absolutely perfectly usable, and I could easily go higher. Now you can, if you desire, set a different FOV for first and third person. The third person FOV is the fdefault world FOV line, so type in whatever you want. To test FOV levels quickly in game before setting it manually in the file, just launch up the game and open the console with the tilde key by default and type in FOV 100. The two numbers denote firstly the first person FOV and the second number the third person FOV, so you could try FOV 90 and 120 to try out different levels. Then once you find out what you like, quit the game, load up the fallout4.ini file and input the numbers you like. Then save the file and close it, and you're all good to go. You don't need Nexus Mod Manager running when you play the game, it's just used to install the mod the first time. Performance does take a hit, obviously, with the extra screen space, and regardless of the fact that the game doesn't look amazing, performance is horrendous at times. I'm running everything highest settings, and I dip down to the 60s and occasionally below in some places, which is completely ridiculous on a GTX 1080 Ti for a game that looks like this, but obviously it's old news that this game has a complete lack of good optimization. So this now means I can give the game a WideAsFcuk score of 4. It's running gorgeously, and you'll have a blast running it on your ultra-wide screen. I hope that gives you some more information on how the game runs at 21:9. Give this video a like if you found it helpful, and subscribe for future info. For any of the games at 21:9, head over to my channel or the WideAsFcuk website. Hopefully I've covered it. If I haven't, then leave a comment down below with what you'd like to see and I'll try and cover it. And if you'd like to support the channel, the links to my Patreon page are in the description, and Amazon affiliate links are there too. See you later.